So this one obscure movie, it's relatively obscure. Apparently has less than 500 raters. So watchers. I guess. I guess me and more could have watched it. But, raters on less than 500. So I don't know if Anyway, um, so it's yeah. So apparently it's made by the University of Old Dominion, they call themselves. I had no idea. Apparently, Old Dominion is a nickname given by Charles. I don't know, some random. Just because Virginia was loyal to the British Crown. Who knew, right? It's quite something I had no idea. This was during the American Revolution. So anyway, yeah, I don't know why they name a university after that, but anyway, it's not a huge university apparently. Apparently, the thing it has like less than half a billion in was it revenue? Not revenue. I don't think they make their money in any similar way to corporations. No more like I think it's called an endowment. Anyway, so I don't know. It kind of answered my question as to why, because it's a well-made movie, right? I honestly have no idea what everyone else is about. Yeah, I don't know. I watched it. I make a point. I absolutely make a point. Or I'll continue to make a point not to look at the average rating or any reviews for that matter, obviously, before watching a movie. Can do whatever after. Yeah. And to be honest, I don't even read the synopsis. I go in that blind to movies. So anyway, I was surprised that it was made by someone. Well, wasn't known to me, but I don't think they really did much else apart from this. Apparently, they did a couple of others, but I don't think there's much information about them. Um, but yeah, otherwise, uh, I'm assuming though the answers to how the movie doesn't seem amateurish, because I've seen amateur movies. I was thinking earlier, not so much wonder. Because there are those nonsensical, I guess you could call them, Hallmark movies. Where they this like a weird industry of these cookie cutter sort of weird nonsenses that generally are all pleasant. I don't know. At least I haven't seen what their horror version is. Usually it's some sort of weird rom-com. Anyway, so yeah, I'm just saying that even as far as I know, Hallmark is a relatively big corporation. I think. It also produces these cards, doesn't it? That's what I knew about it before. Yeah. So I don't know, but then it went into a family movie making as well. Apparently. Anyway, I'm just saying. Even those movies though look pretty amateur. Um, they just kind of are. Mostly. They're usually straight for TV, they call it. So I guess they don't they don't make much efforts, but they really don't make much effort. Not just in script writing, but everything else as well. Sometimes they don't even have music, but this one though, this was I thought it was just me never hearing about the actors and or director and everything. But no, obviously music helps. The music was brilliant, and yeah, the musician seems to be established. Although I didn't personally, I don't think I have encountered him before that I know of. Music is brilliant, so that helps. But even the cinematography, obviously the outdoor scenario helps as well, but obviously you still need, all the different camera work, the appropriate camera work. So it was done really well. I mean, it was quite impressive. I was kind of trying to predict it at some point. I mean, you know, uh, I I could sort of predict a bit, but not totally. Like at the end there, honestly, I was wondering whether his wife killed him or something. I don't know on earth. I was wondering, but yeah. Then obviously I realized what I was going to do when they brought out the envelope. Yeah, the story was quite captivating. I got to say, reminded me a bit of The Witch, but not quite. Obviously, a similar sort of setting, but um, this story was pretty good. Well, you know what movies are theoretically supposed to be doing, right? Where the word comes from. Uh, so yeah, I'm just saying it was I guess functional with that regards and that yeah. I guess and generally one doesn't need to ask any for anything anymore. I honestly don't know what on earth people are for. That I read some supposed professional critics reviews there. Well, I mean, one sentence here and there on the movies article, and I have no idea what they mean. They say doesn't have substance. They said, like, what's substance? I mean, it's a story, and as far as it goes, I mean, it's our own substance. No, what I mean, I have certainly seen far worse, far insubstantial. Uh, I'm just saying, right? Far more insubstantial movies. I don't know what honestly this means. When it comes to substances, and it's not like it was about mindless sports or something, right? Just I don't know. So yeah, it's yeah, it reminded me of Leave No Trace that I also commented on, except that is not supernatural and deals with the annoyances of real life and real society. Not that this one didn't, but obviously it was much more of a supernatural. But I got to say, I came out of this movie thinking supernatural horror movies are probably my favorite, and this honestly is the ideal way to make them really. I mean, how many are there? It's not like all of the same in the genre are made like this. They're not. I mean, the last one I've watched was Bedeviled. It was called, and it's not that I didn't like it. I mean, I still like it for different reasons. So, obviously, this was much more emotive, I guess, not so much Bedeviled. It was more, but yeah, more cerebral, I guess you could say. But so I mean, it also has a lot of jump scares though, and that is the cheapest way to make a horror movie, maybe. Or maybe not the cheapest, absolute cheapest. Maybe the cheapest, the absolute cheapest would be gore. Is so much and so much. But it's one thing if you search for slasher movies. You know what you're getting. With slasher movies. But to include them, I mean, I'm pretty sure there's also supernatural horror movies that have gore on them. And it's just annoying. Along with jump as I say, it's like a close second cheapest way to make a movie, really. And as much as I kind of liked Bedeviled, it's well, I commented on that elsewhere, but it's a very cheap way, and there weren't any such things here. So, this was actually a pretty well made movie, and I have no idea, no idea why on average it's for something. I think I'm pretty sure I can just conclude now. I'm pretty sure it's settled at this point. I mean, I guess you could say it's a theory, but in my mind, it's kind of settled based on my experience of, as I said, long ago. Uh, I mean, I pity the people who watch or do not watch something based on an average rating, right? Because obviously, unless they, I guess, have had experience that somehow the average rating always matches their own interests. In my case, it seems to do the opposite. It's literally the opposite. I might as well just watch all the low average ratings. Obviously, not exact absolute, constantly, or opposite, but mostly it is opposite. So anyway, I'm just saying though. I have no idea. I mean, this was a well-made movie. Not just just well-made. It it was it had I don't know, heart in it, I guess. You could say. And yeah, I mean, it reminded me of. I mean, as I said, it reminded me of Leave No Trace because it's set in outdoors mostly. As I said, though, that one is more sociological. I talked about it about 2 years ago. Um, but it's also a beautiful setting. When it's outdoors. So yeah. This though also reminded me of. Uh, yeah, I mean, why not, right? Jacob's Ladder, but not exactly, because I mean, I was wondering, I mean, like, were there hints as to its conclusion? And I'm not sure. I mean, besides obviously the apparitions, and then the explanation as to why there are those. Then obviously, he like he switch things around, I guess. Obviously, viewers can't exactly know exactly how everything will turn out. But these things happen, and it is quite weird that the real family, though, acted. They are apparently a real family. They literally have the all the same surname. Yeah, Bullen. But that kind of irrelevant. The point is that I liked it. As a supernatural horror movie. I cannot say I didn't. I certainly um, forced myself through many other movies. Some I haven't even finished watching. I mean, I have the annoying habit of beginning and then leaving it. Maybe at the end as well. Very annoying habit. But not this one. I liked it. Held my attention until the end, and yeah. It's interesting at the very least. Um, but yeah, when it comes to these um, I don't know, average, I guess you could say. And as I said, the average rating is already strange. Then we get to the average liked review, I guess you could say. By someone here called True Rooted Ibs, or whatever the hell ever. Um, yeah, it's very funny because the first sentence that is said is pretty much the entire review itself. So yeah, it's quite bizarre. Yeah, the review a garbled mess. Yeah, it's very much. Yeah, of course I'm pretty sure they don't think the reviews are garbled. It's so bizarre. I mean, the main complaint is that it's boring. Well, I guess if you normally watch Happy Tree Friends or something, like I don't know what the hell. I mean, sure there were inconsistencies with the beard, but um, no, I think that's explained at the end. Yeah, it's supposed to indicate. I mean, come on, it's and nothing to do with boredom. It's supposed to indicate, yeah, a state of mind, no, and such, and isn't it always that? I mean, well, obviously, besides the fact, people can just not be bothered and such. But anyway, it's not like it literally changed every second scene or something, and. Well, I mean, with regards to the Wi-Fi, I cannot believe even Wi-Fi was complained about. Wow, talk about people nitpicking, not seeing the big picture. It's just Wi-Fi. I mean, unless they're going to waste another 5 minutes explaining how they got Wi-Fi and how got a laptop. I mean, they didn't. Not everything has to be about how things work technically. Like as far as that goes, if it's a movie like you know like Snowden, where technical stuff is at its core, and yeah, by all means explain it. Some movies, some series go very. I don't even know why I'm bothering. I mean, this review is the most idiotic, and as usual, the most liked stuff is the stupidest on the internet. So yeah, that's pretty much it, isn't it? That's the conclusion one can rationally make. I mean, I know, media ultimately is subjective. Art is subjective. Um, but what is this nonsense? There's so much trash, or there's absolute garbage, real actual garbage. I mean, and not just garbage, right? But violent garbage on the top 250 list, right? So these are the most highly revered by the average person. I'm just the average person is just um, I don't know. I mean, whatever is the conclusion one makes from that premise. I'm just saying, right? I'm just, as I always say, there's, like there are a few in the top 250. Like on average, I might like them, not, but yeah. Rarely do I rate them. I mean, they're generally 8 or above. Um, yeah, rarely, I think. Rarely, yeah. So anyway, but yes, some I do. Hachiko, for example. Hachiko is another one which really moved me as well. I think that's the top 250. So sometimes, rarely, yeah, the average rating is okay, sensible, but not other times, clearly. So it's not like it's not the sample size isn't very large. I mean, you know, if you make a double blind study and you only include 500 people, yeah, it's probably not very. Not if you're going to, if it's some sort of chemical that is going to be given to thousands, you probably need to have a larger sample size. Same thing when it comes to polls and such. Uh, so I saw that movies ultimately don't really matter too much, but I mean, you know it's just annoying. I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, as it happens, the second review here that is deemed helpful. Of course, when we say helpful, as I always say in the past, like uh, there were literally reviews in the past which were like, "I don't like it," and apparently that's helpful. It's like, wow, what's next? Just little gibberish deemed helpful? Well, it's literally the opposite, right? Of everything. It's kind of. And I'm just saying, the second review, it's actually sensible. Yeah, it's kind of sensible. I mean, it's just I don't get it. It's not like horror movies are generally rated very highly. Generally, but even things like even movies like The Shining, right, which is rated highly. I mean, personally, I didn't think it was that exciting, um, interesting, even maybe slightly, but not wholly. I mean, certainly not incredibly more interesting than this. You know, and ultimately, it's just a movie about a chase. That's pretty much it. Just saying, right? That's all there is to it. In the end, there it's just about a chase. And somehow it's rated 8 something. The top to 5, if I remember correctly. Um, I don't know. Like personally, I find a movie like Jacob's Ladder far more interesting. I don't think it's rated 8 or anything. So generally in my mind, people rate what is good bad and what is bad good. I don't know. It's just people. Yeah, humans are weird, aren't they?